Over the past 3 years, I built over 30 profile funnels, generating over $2 million in clients' revenue. And almost every coach I ever worked with had the exact same objections before they implemented the profile funnel. They thought they needed a massive audience or spent tens of thousands of dollars on ads every single month. But every time they finally implemented it, they all came back saying the same thing. I wish I started this sooner, because once the system was in place, everything changed. I help clients like Ollie generate over $350,000 in cash collected and over $500,000 in revenue with just 10,000 followers. And today I'm going to give you a complete breakdown of the exact profile funnel I use for my own clients. So, by the end of the video, you will know exactly how to implement a profitable profile funnel into your business from start to finish. Now, to make things as easy to understand as possible, I broke it down into 4 different parts. We have foundation, marketing, sales, and system. With the last one being the most important, because you can have the best marketing in the world, but if you don't have systems behind it to support it, you're going to explode. Now, the foundation of every profile funnel are your Instagram account and your YouTube channel. So it's important they're both optimized and have congruent messaging. Here's why. Let's say you're a sales coach helping existing 9-to-5 sales reps replace their income fully online and become remote closers. You have the alt messaging, you speak directly to your ICP, but whenever they land on your Instagram account, they just see a random profile with an old profile picture and 2 posts. They're not gonna see you as a competent person that can actually get them results, so they're never gonna drop you a follow. Now, let me show you how to properly optimize both your Instagram account and your YouTube channel so that never happens, and you can actually build a following of qualified people who are your dream clients as well. When it comes to your Instagram, you need to have a clear profile picture that's preferably taken with a camera, and your account needs to be verified. Now, one quick note here. If you're a fitness coach, make sure that you have a gym in the background. If you would be a cooking coach, make sure that the profile picture is taken in the kitchen so people can instantly build that association. Now, when it comes to your bio, there's 2 different ways to build it, depending on if you're in B2B or if you're selling B2C. Now, firstly, when it comes to B2B, you need to have founder of, and then obviously tag your company Instagram account. Next, you need to just show proof. So over $2 million generated for online coaches, and then learn how it works, push people to YouTube. Now, the only difference if you're selling B2C is that the second line needs to be the standard, helping X person get desired outcome. That's pretty much all, and then just push all the people to YouTube. Here's why. When people discover you on Instagram, they're not ready to buy yet. They're just kind of a bit invested into who you are, so it's important that we get them and send them to YouTube so they consume long-form content. Now, this is just a quick example of how the company Instagram account can be structured. Now, let's move on to highlights. It doesn't matter if you're selling B2C or B2B, your highlights need to be structured this way. At least 3 highlights need to be full of client wins, 1 about personal and 1 about YouTube. And also a quick note on highlight covers. It's important that they are pictures of the associations you want your brand to essentially be associated with. So for example, with me, traveling, working money online, villas, fitness, discipline, for example, nice cars. These are all great associations to have, and obviously your main grid needs to have 3 pin posts. My story 1, a video that performed well for you already, like organically, and then the 3rd one, just a client testimonial video. Now, when it comes to YouTube, you need to have a clear banner with your company logo. This is the same logo that you're going to use right here on the company Instagram account. Use the same profile picture on your YouTube as well, so there is no disconnect. But just make sure that it's a very clean profile picture. When it comes to the description, it can be pretty much the exact same thing that you put here in the bio. As you can see, I've copied it straight up, and then just, have your Instagram linked at the very top, and then your calendar or your landing page right here. Now, your homepage needs to be split into 3 different playlists, essentially. First, you need to have a Start Here section where you're gonna have all of your value videos. Then you're gonna have an About Me section with all of your vlogs and like life updates, and client testimonial section with all the social proof. Because the reason for this is people only come to your YouTube channel for 2 reasons. They either want to learn more about what you do, they want to learn more about you as a person, or they just want to see what you've been able to do for others. And by us splitting the homepage into three different parts, just like this, you're essentially able to give them what they want as soon as they land on the channel. So you just increase the chances of them ever staying on the channel, consuming the content, and then obviously booking in the calls. Now, before we speak about organic content, ads, and everything that consists of marketing, I need you to understand this one marketing principle. Demand cannot be created, it can only be transferred. And there are so many gurus online saying, just go with the blue ocean strategy, ignore the red ocean. But the problem with this is that if you're gonna try to educate an unaware market, you're gonna lose every single time. And another thing is, if you're trying to kind of get your place in a very saturated market where you're competing with billion-dollar corporations, you're not gonna have much success either. So what I do with every single one of my clients, we essentially find a purple ocean. And I'm gonna use Liam as an example. He's helping existing 9-to-5 sales reps replace their income fully online. And we could easily just essentially target the entire high-ticket sales space, but we decided to niche down. There's already demand for high-ticket sales, but yeah, we niched down, and he's now one of the only people on Instagram talking and serving to this part of the red ocean, or kind of like red and blue ocean combined together, and it's absolutely ripping for him. Now, let's move on and talk about what to post before we get onto the organic content. And what I want you to ask right here is, like, what does your business actually need? Because if you need more leads, you need to post more top of the funnel content. If you need more trust, you need middle of the funnel content. But if you have leads coming through and they already trust you, but they're still not converting, you need bottom of the funnel content. And the thing is that there is no right or wrong here. Like, there is no perfect split that you should follow and suddenly your business is just gonna convert extremely well organically. The thing that I need you to look at is your data. Talk to your sales team. Look at the numbers and then determine, all right, do we either need more leads, do we need more trust, or are we struggling with conversion? And then just do more of that. You don't want to just do bottom of the funnel content and forget about this. You just need to prioritize either one of these depending on what your business needs. And because most of the people watching this operate in level 5 market sophistication, people don't believe in unique mechanisms anymore, and your marketing strategist must be achieved. Now, this marketing strategy that I'm talking about is something called show, don't tell. People are so sophisticated in B2B and even in B2C now that they essentially just don't believe what you say. They don't believe people's words. They've been scammed, they've been burned, they've heard different things from their friends. And essentially what you need to do with your marketing is lead them to their own conclusion. You need to essentially go all in on show marketing and completely ignore the tell marketing. Now, let's get into the three different pillars of the content. We have obviously top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel content. First, speaking of top of the funnel content, you should never look at what's working in the algorithm, but instead look at what's working in your sales. Figure out, why did clients choose you? For example, the best way to do that is through onboarding forums. And the question you need to essentially ask your clients is, what's the reason why you chose me? Like, what's fundamentally different about me from all the other competitors in the market? And these are just some of the answers that people said about me. For example, my knowledge. There's a lot of shit in the space. It's hard to find somebody to actually add value. You're straight to the point. You're very direct, relatable, honest. You're invested in succeeding in me. You have a great balance of being excited and serious. You're Eastern European. You don't bullshit around and all the other stuff. So essentially, what I now need to do with my top of the funnel content is just find formats to show these things. Me being direct, me being Eastern European, me having an amazing balance, me genuinely caring about my clients. You see what I'm trying to do here? You just look at the reasons why clients chose you, and then you find formats to package that into so you can attract more of your dream clients through your top of the funnel content, and you essentially lean into the things that make you you and make you stand out, because nobody can actually compete with the list of the things that you have right here. But you need to look at your own data and then approach that. And then another way to approach top of the funnel content, ideation, and in general like content you should post is list out the reasons why people should listen to you in the first place. I was just speaking to one of my friends, and I made a video about this a few days ago, and he essentially has a stack of things that are very unique about him. So he invested over $40,000 in coaches. He's currently paying $5,000 per month for a mentor. He has a very nice car as a young age. He's going to the best gyms in the UK. And as you can see, like, you quickly build this stack of unique things that not many other people in the space can compete with. And then you need to find content formats to essentially show that to the world and package it correctly. And this is exactly how you approach top of the funnel content that actually attracts the right people into your funnel and makes you stand out and really builds a personal brand. It doesn't really give you a value brand. Now, speaking of middle of the funnel content, there's three main formats that I like to do for myself and every single one of my clients. Firstly, we have roadmap videos. Essentially, when you sign a new client, you want to sit with them in person and just essentially walk them through how you're going to deliver them the result and how they're going to get to the result in the next, whatever your offer is, 90 days, 180 days. You just film that. And the reason why I love this format so much is because you essentially capture yourself in flow state. People can see you, just the way you speak, the way you are around your clients. You don't need to pretend, you don't need to come up with things. You just speak to your client and essentially that conversation gets recorded. The same with testimonial videos and obviously the same with vlogs. And the best thing about this as well is that as you're prioritizing long-form content, you get hours and hours of footage, and all of this can get clipped up into short form. So when it comes to your Instagram, all you have to actually do is prioritize top of the funnel content and then just clip up your YouTube stuff. So you save a bunch of time and also you're on the side building another asset which is your YouTube channel. Now, moving on, another great piece of the middle of the funnel content that so many people miss are story sequences. And I'm speaking to like my clients or people that I know, and they're always complicating it so much. They're sitting, they're looking at their phone, they're trying to like engineer ideas for story sequences. They try to come up with certain things. But the thing that I really want you to remember is that like stories are a reflection of your day. Nothing else. You don't need to like force it or like sit for an hour or find ideas with ChatGPT. Just look at what happened in your day, the conversations you had with the clients, the wins that clients had, the things that you did, the places you went to, and just share that with people. Like, the stories are a place where people can really see you for who you are and they can get a glimpse into the life that you live. So just be transparent and share that. Maybe you had certain thoughts in your mind. Share it, lessons, quotes, maybe you watched a YouTube video, share that with people. There really is no right or wrong when it comes to marketing. Now, there is four main pillars that I want you to like implement and kinda wanna share them with you, just so there's a bit of framework and a bit of structure. The first pillar is you promoting your YouTube videos. Now, obviously, every single one of my clients posts at least once or 2 times per week on YouTube, and there's 2 different ways to promote it. If it's more of an educational video, value video, what we do is essentially just slap a title on top. We have the thumbnail right here and watch now. But if it's more of a vlog or like a lifestyle video, what we do is take the promo reel, share it on Instagram stories, put the title on top, and obviously watch now. But this just like kind of builds a bit more curiosity and a bit more hype, so more people are actually like clicking on the video. Next pillar of stories is documentation. You're just, again, being transparent of what happened in your life. For example, I was in this story in Greece with one of my clients, Oli, and I was just speaking that I've traveled all these places, and I'm just like grateful, feeling blessed. This really changed my life, like me approaching online business. Another pillar is belief shifting stories. So essentially like, here I shifted the belief that organic is not predictable, and obviously then I told that the only reason why it's not predictable is because you don't have data. And then I talked about onboarding forms, and it's the same thing that I shared with you guys in like earlier in the video when I was speaking about you asking your clients why did they choose you, what's fundamentally different about you from the rest of the competitors. And then the last pillar is obviously proof. Now, there's a few ways you can approach this. Obviously, you can share screenshots that clients send over. You could also clip up voice notes, another great thing. Or obviously, the ultimate form of social proof is you clipping up phantom recordings of your coaching calls. Whenever like clients just naturally bring up the wins that they had, and then you just clip that up. Now, the thing that it's the most important with social proof is you don't want to just like slap it on the stories. You always need to give a bit of context. So for example, here, this is one of my clients, Leonard. I obviously text him. He's absolutely killing it. We started his business from zero in September, and now he's already making 10K a month. With the team and ads in place, he will be at 30K in no time. And obviously he crushed it in December then. But this gives people a bit of context, a bit of backstory to where he was, what we've done, where we're planning to go to, and obviously Leonard then is saying things right here. And this is another great example here. So it's important that you add context so people are not just left wondering, okay, what is this random win? And it's also gonna increase the retention, so people are actually gonna pause the story and read it, not just like skip, because they're gonna see like a random Fathom clip. And then obviously the last part when it comes to organic content is the bottom of the funnel content. And when it comes to this, the best way to find it essentially is to put all of your sales calls recordings into Claude and just ask him to list out all the objections that you're currently facing. Now, what you then need to do is essentially create value front-facing content that will handle those objections. For example, you might be met with an objection that people don't have clarity on how exactly they're gonna like take the steps after they pay you. So they're kind of hesitant on sales calls. And then what you can do is like have my report videos, and you can then meet up with your client in person, and you can just essentially go over with that client the exact steps they took right after they got onboarded to the obviously result that they have now. And then you're gonna obviously be able to pre-handle those objections, but you know, it's packaged with value. So people are way more likely to click, but obviously through the video, you handle those objections. Now, another important part when it comes to making the profile funnel work are obviously ads. Organic is a bit unpredictable. Obviously with data, you get a lot more predictable, but still you have ups and downs. But with profile visit ads, you can actually hold consistent flow of leads every single day. And the biggest thing that I see so many people stress about is cost per qualified follower. They're just optimizing for that. But what we found works way better is obsessing over the cost per qualified booked call. Because the thing is, you don't want to just flood your account with a bunch of followers, but they're not really going to convert into anything. Like what we want is money, and what we need to look at is cost per qualified booked call. So this is just one of the shifts that we made, and yeah, it's an absolute game changer. Now, when it comes to profile visit ads, there's two different ways of approaching it. We have scripted ads and we have boosted organic content. Now, if you want to make scripted ads work, you need to understand in which stage of awareness your market is. And after looking at sales call recordings and DM conversations for my client Liam, who's helping existing 9-to-5 sales reps replace their income fully online, we found that 95% of his leads were problem aware, but they weren't solution aware. So what did we do? We made educational scripted ads that, well, educated these people on the solution, which is obviously online or like remote closing. And then another way is obviously boosting existing organic content, but there's one thing you need to be extremely careful here. So many people online say just boost your most viral reels, but the problem is that those reels are broad. They don't have the correct messaging, so the quality of the leads that you're gonna attract is not the best. It really isn't. So instead what you wanna do is boost organic content that already attracted good leads, that has the correct messaging, and then you essentially just amplify it by putting money behind it. And then another important aspect when it comes to ads is obviously retargeting ads. And as I said earlier in the video, because most of the people, including myself, are operating in level 5 market sophistication, like people just don't believe anything you say. They're extremely skeptical. So with retargeting ads, you just need to lead them to their own conclusion by essentially letting your clients do the selling for you. So when it comes to retargeting ads, you essentially just either clip up the in-person testimonials that you had with your clients and obviously structure it the right way, or you make client breakdowns yourself and you essentially share with people how you took somebody from X to Y. Now, when it comes to retargeting ads, I like to essentially retarget people who visited and engaged with an Instagram account in the last 90 days. But you can even stretch it up to 180 days. Now, obviously, we covered all the marketing, but an important part of the profile funnel is obviously sales. So I'm just gonna run you through exactly how we approach DMs for every single one of my clients. The setter sends over an opener and then we just quickly qualify them, but like very indirectly, because the things that's recently happening with Meta is that they get like very strict. There's a lot of people, including myself, that lost Instagram accounts because of random hiccups AI made. So it's important that you qualify them very indirectly by asking like what kind of job they do, or like figuring out like what's kind of their life situation. You never want to ask them exactly how much money do you make and stuff like that, because the AI is gonna flag it instantly, and you never want to get any restrictions. And then what we instead did, and I haven't seen many people in the online space implement this, is essentially after quick qualification, you just propose a dialing call. Because the biggest problem when it comes to sales with the profile funnel, it's been here for years, is that the sales process is just longer. Like people follow you, they consume a bit of content, then obviously the setter starts the conversation. It can even go up to like 7 to 14 days in the DMs after somebody gets booked. But by essentially sending over an opener and quickly qualifying these people and then proposing a dialing call, you essentially are able to book in people 1 to 2 days later after the opener was sent at max. Because on this dialing call, you essentially compress a week of setting conversation that would go back and forward in the DMs in like a 5-minute conversation. And obviously from the dialing call, you either book them in for a Calendly, so they would buy high ticket, or what we found works well is just downsell them to some sort of like $100 per month community. This is something we've implemented with Liam, and it's just very, very good to stack reoccurring and to make the most out of the leads that you're getting through. Now, after they book through Calendly, they are obviously met with the post booking. This again varies, so you need to understand the market you operate in. For example, with Liam, most of these guys are corporate, so they're familiar with SMS and email. But for example, with one of my clients, Oli, which I mentioned in the beginning of the video, he's speaking to guys between like 18 to 25, and they don't even check their emails. So the only thing that we had implemented for him was the SMSs coming through. But again, for example, with Liam, because these people are corporate, emails is something they check all the time. And obviously, after they book, the dialer, which is also the setter, makes a WhatsApp group between him, the closer, and obviously the prospect, where they get properly nurtured with more long form assets, more YouTube stuff, and obviously they just keep in touch with them in that group. So this, in short, is the exact system we run. But now the most important part of this is the systems behind it to support your marketing, to support the sales team. Because as I said in the beginning, you can have the best marketing in the world, but if you don't have systems behind it, you're essentially just going to explode. Things are going to be all over the place. It's not going to be manageable at scale. Like even as soon as you're past 10K per month, you just can't operate a bit randomly. Like you need data, you need to see exactly what's happening. Otherwise, you're never going to get to 50 or 100. So yeah, what we found works best when it comes to team management and systems behind it is essentially this Discord server, which we build out for every single one of our clients. On the top, we have payments, booked calls, accountability, tracker, SOPs. When it comes to the content, we have 2 sections: setting, split into general, EOD, pre-call forums, and closing as well. And then on the bottom, we have office. And this is one of the best and simplest ways to not only manage the team, but to give everybody the clarity on exactly the calls that are coming through, the payments that are coming through, to like hype them up, to keep them accountable as well when things are going bad, and obviously when money is coming through, to just congratulate everybody and make sure that the people who've done the work feel seen and they're not just left behind. Obviously, another important thing are team calls. I'm not going to talk too much about them in this video because that's a whole another thing and how to approach it, how to structure it. But just wanted to quickly share this in the video. And then obviously another thing is, which I've mentioned before, is data. Like, you need to track your data like your business depends on it, because, well, it does. And this is just part of a custom software that my clients get access to. We've built that for them, where essentially all the numbers are visible. Revenue, ad spend, calls booked, and then you can see here. Closers performance, literally everything. Cash collected, revenue, cash per call, show rate, close deals, average deal size, close rate, no show rate, qualification rate, everything. And the same for setters as well. So whenever on the team call, like whenever you guys are hosting team calls, you can just open it up right there, go through the numbers, and you can instantly pinpoint, okay, where's the issue? Is it with show up rates? Is it with close rates? And then obviously you can make decisions based on data, not on your emotions or something that you're just like thinking of in your